Hi everyone, and welcome to Ratio1, first course of the Data Literacy for Non-Engineers series. In this course, we're gonna discuss about data science, we're gonna discuss about data engineering, about data governance, about AI in general, and about many other things that should be in the toolbox of every CEO, CMO, CFO, and middle management executive. So let's get the show on the road. Let's have a quick warm-up intro regarding two different questions that you have to ask yourself. First of all, is how many of you used AI or more likely machine learning before 2022, 2023? That's basically before the launch of ChatGPT 3.5, and the whole explosion of the AI killer app that is the ChatGPT. And of course, the second question is how many of you are using almost on a daily basis now ChatGPT? So I'm pretty sure the answer is dramatically, the answers are quite dramatically different from the first question to the second question. So it's pretty obvious that AI, it's entirely part of our lives. It's not anymore a buzzword, it's a reality, and is changing the society extremely fast as we speak. So basically, the question is, the next and the last question of the warm-up is it clear that AI has the ability to give us superpowers? Or isn't that clear? Okay, so let's make a quick dive and let's see which are the two options, the red pill and the blue pill, if you want. So the first scenario that we have to discuss, although it's a little bit gritty and of course dystopian, is the scenario when we as humans are going to be lagging behind the AI reasoning curve. And basically AI will become better and better and can surpass human capacity for reasoning and real-world problem solving. All this while humans don't actually improve their fundamental cognitive capacities and their base knowledge. So we still remain in some kind of repetitive or quasi-creative tasks. At the end of the day, basically, all this can be coordinated by AI and can be developed by AI and it can be executed by AI and it can be monitored by AI. So slowly we actually become obsolete. So this is a dystopian scenario. So let's see what should actually happen and the way things should develop. The second scenario, it's us humans becoming architects, and by architect I don't necessarily mean software architects or construction architects or any kind of other type of architect. I mean, we should become better and better at what we do. We should become better and better and at what we would love to do, and we should employ AI as a leverage mechanism to literally push us on the Maslow hierarchy of needs upper and upper. So basically, if AI will provide and help us with basic needs, we can go forth and continuously evolve and continuously become better and better. So AI literally can give us superpowers, but what does it take for that to happen? So I think the answer is pretty easy. We need to go back to school. It's not just a joke, it's actually a series of things that we need to tackle, we need to make them part of our daily lives. First of all, we need to embrace continuous learning. We need to embrace continuous learning and focus on understanding and solidifying the core foundation of our target domains, meaning the domains that we work on right now, or maybe the domains that we would love to work on if we had the time and the budgets. So basically, executives now more than ever must have a decent grip on various subjects such as data science, data governance, and AI empowerment. You can actually, at this moment in time, you can actually say that the third one, the AI empowerment, could encompass, could embed both data science understanding and data governance understanding, because AI empowerment cannot be done and cannot be embraced without a clear understanding of what data science means and data governance application. So let's get a little bit in depth to see exactly what this means. So data science and AI empowerment in general are about understanding problems, understanding business processes, understanding how you can frame a real-world problem into a data science process that can be solved by specialists. You don't have to do it yourself. You can hire an AI agent or a human agent. The problem is you need to understand all the complexities and all the objectives and all the bits and pieces of the business problem that you have to solve in order to correctly frame the problem and transfer the knowledge to an execution layer. So basically, you need to understand data analysis. You need to understand how you can extract meaningful patterns and predictions, not in technical terms, but the way things should be done, the way an expert should tackle the problem that you are trying to solve. As well as you need to understand how a model, how an AI model is actually developed, it's actually put into the production without having to understand the core technical aspects. Those things are for engineers. You do have to understand your expectations from the process of model development. And of course, last but not least, the outcome of taking a business question and framing the problem correctly, doing a preliminary data analysis at the top level, understanding how the model should be developed and how it should be operationalized, leads to automating the process, automating the business problem that you are trying to address. Okay, so besides understanding the problem, understanding data, understanding models, and understanding the automation process, you need to understand how you can empower your organization horizontally with various tools and various features and various directions that AI can provide, such as empowering the organization with predictive analytics for stock forecasting, for example, or adopting Gen AI approaches with reasoning models or just simple large language models for improving customer experience, or even internal decision support. At the end of the day, what is the most important is that the business impact has to be very easily and clearly measured. So all the actions that you deploy in your organization, all the technologies that you propose and you shepherd during the process of implementation and adoption, generate and drive clear, measurable outcomes. Okay, so this was about data science and AI in general. Let's talk a little bit about the particular subject of data governance. So data governance deals with the quality of the data, the security of the data, the privacy of the data. All these things are basically extremely important from any type of organization, but particularly for mid and large size organization, as well as organizations that deal with very sensitive data, such as healthcare, such as physical security and other areas. Okay, so basically your role as a leader in your organization or your department is understanding that data governance. It's about a few different pillars, such as clear definition of the data stewards, owners, custodians, clear definition of basically the roles and responsibilities that your colleagues that deal with data governance have to have in your organization. Of course, policies and standards are very important, and they apply to any jurisdiction in any country that has a basic set of data governance regulations currently in the world. So following the policies and standards is extremely important, and this is the responsibility of the team that takes care of data governance in your organization. Last but not least, I think monitoring and reporting is something that has to be tackled both by the persons that have direct responsibility in data governance, as well as the middle and upper management. So this is the only way to make sure that the data governance rules are effective and totally compliant with the policies and standards. Okay, so basically what we need right at the end is having a few key insights, or let's say a simple action framework for implementing all of these. So we do have a lot of solutions, we do have a lot of directions, and what you saw here is just the very tip of the iceberg from all these perspective of AI governance, data science, AI empowerment, and what you need to know is that for all these there are different approaches. For data science or machine learning, you have from shallow machine learning that has been done for tens of years up to complex deep learning frameworks that emerged in the last 10 years to, of course, generative AI, as well as in terms of approaching data science and data governance and AI empowerment in general. You have multiple ways of doing it, and you have multiple theories and multiple approaches. But what I think is very important is a few steps that gives you a clear path in order to implement basic set of data science and data governance inside your organization. So first of all, it's evaluating your organization from your top perspective, not necessarily from the perspective of a data science executive or of a data governance manager. Following this evaluation, you have to empower sponsor for all the data-focused initiatives. And at this point, you have to empower the data science executives, the data governance managers, and so on. Prioritizing and building pilots is extremely important. Otherwise, the adoption will be extremely slow. Of course, last but not least, assess business impact and support cultural adoption of data literacy. These kind of courses that we are trying to build for non-engineers should be disseminated broadly at the level of the whole organization, not only at the level of mid-management and top management. Okay, I think this is it for this first course. I'll see you next time.